Ever wondered if aging is something that can truly be slowed? Since not with a pill, nor an expensive supplement, but something as effortless as moving your body? Here's the truth, but science now reveals that exercise is one of the most powerful preventive medicines we have, and perhaps our best defense against aging. Indeed, it is what doctors refer to as the closest thing we have to a real fountain of youth. In this video, you'll learn about 5 of the ways exercise functions beneath the surface of your body to battle aging, from keeping your bones strong, to preserving muscle, to sharpening your memory, to slowing cellular decline, and may even protect you from chronic disease. But before we go down that rabbit hole of science, let me tell you a brief story. Mary is 72. She would get so tired just walking across her living room. Her knees hurt and she was afraid of falling. But after only 6 months of walking almost every day and a few light resistance workouts, something unbelievable happened. Her form got better, she felt stronger, and most importantly, she felt like herself again. The same is true for you. So let's get started on this journey and find out what exercise really does slow aging and why you're never too old to begin. Part 1, building strong bones and preventing falls. Did you know? After 60 and even after a little stumble, I can break a bone. A simple slip, a stumble from standing height, it can transform your life entirely. Here's why. Our bones become more porous as we get older. They become weaker, more brittle. That's osteoporosis. The spine may compress, you lose height, your hips, wrists, and ankles exposed. But here's the good news. Exercise slows this process down. Weight-bearing moves. Think walking, light jogging, climbing stairs, or lifting light weights. Keep bones alive. Why? That's because pressure stimulates bone-forming cells. They're called osteoblasts. Their job it is to make new bone. It's like telling your skeleton, "Stay strong, I still need you." Harvard and Mayo Clinic studies have proven this. Active seniors keep stronger bones. They suffer fewer fractures. They stay independent longer. Let me share a story. George is 68. He used to avoid stairs. His knees hurt. He was afraid of falling. Then he started walking daily, just 20 minutes. Included a bit of resistance band work. 6 months later, George was feeling stronger. Now he can confidently climb stairs. He even hikes with his grandkids. But here's a mistake many seniors make. They are dependent only on either milk or calcium supplements. Thinking that's enough, it's not. Bones don't get the message to rebuild if they're not used. So what's the solution? Start small. Walk around your neighborhood. Do chair squats. Do 2 light weightlifting sessions a week. Or dance if you love music. Bones are the scaffolding on which your body is built. Everywhere you go, you are building upon the bricks of strength, without independence being an investment in every movement. What is one thing you could do this week to increase your bone strength? Comment below, I'd love to hear. Now we've covered bones, but bones aren't enough to keep you strong. Now let me tell you about your muscles. Part 2, muscle preservation, the antidote for frailty. Let me ask you this. Have you ever attempted to pick up something light and it felt heavier than the last time? That's not just weakness, that's muscle loss. Doctors call it sarcopenia. It happens naturally with age. After 60, we begin to lose muscle every year. And muscle, when it goes away, so does strength, balance, and independence. Think about it. Struggles to get out of a chair. Having a tough time schlepping groceries. To be worn out after 1 block. That's frailty. And frailty is what robs seniors of their freedom. But here's the good news. Exercise can fight this. Strength training, with your body or light weights, resistance bands, whatever, maintains muscle strength. Throw in some protein-rich fare, and you've provided your body with the bricks to shield muscle. That's clear from research done at the National Institute on Aging. Older folks who engage in basic strength exercises 2 to 3 times a week keep up their independence longer. They walk faster. They recover from illness quicker. They don't go to nursing homes. Here's a story. Linda, 74, always loved gardening, but she had to stop because her arms felt weak. She signed up for a community class with chair squats and resistance bands. Within months, she saw that she could lift her stocking foot in the watering can once more. Now she's back at work in the garden every morning, smiling. Here's a mistake a lot of seniors make. They believe walking by themselves is sufficient. Walking is fine, but it doesn't preserve muscle on its own. You need strength training, even just a little. So what's the solution? Begin with body weight moves. Sit to stands, wall push-ups, or heel raises. Gradually introduce light dumbbells or bands as you get stronger. Consistency matters more than intensity. Your muscles are your armor. The more you shield them, the longer you shield your freedom. What strength exercise are you willing to try this week? Chair squats, wall push-ups, or resistance bands? Comment below. I'd love to hear. So we've discussed bones and muscles, but health is not just about the body, it's also about the mind. So let's move to the brain. Part 3, maintaining the sharpness of your mind. Have you ever walked into a room and then forgotten why you went in there? Or the name for a face that seemed familiar, but your mind went blank? That's part of aging. But the good news is that exercise can help. When you exercise, blood flow increases to the brain. More oxygen, more nutrients. Your brain loves that. Better yet, exercise ignites something potent, a protein known as BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Consider it a kind of fertilizer for your brain cells. It keeps neurons alive, and it promotes the growth of new ones. Studies show this clearly. According to a study from Stanford, even 4 short sprints increased BDNF levels. But here's the exciting news. Even light activities such as walking or easy cycling also elevate BDNF. That's right, you don't have to run marathons. Even modest daily movement can keep your brain sharp. Let me share a story. 70-year-old Mary was concerned about her memory. She implemented a new morning ritual, 15 minutes of dancing in her living room. Several months in, she made a surprising observation. She was able to recall grocery lists again. Conversations seemed to be coming sharper to her, and she laughed more. Here's an error many seniors commit, but they kind of just do puzzles, you know? Football fans only do puzzles. Those are all well and good, but the brain needs blood flow too. Mental games along with physical activity. That's the winning formula. So what's the solution? Move your body every day, take a walk, try light aerobic exercise, wiggle to your favorite music. Add in stuff that exercises your brain. Your brain isn't getting dimmer, it's holding out for calories. And exercise delivers it. How do you like to move and keep your mind sharp? Walking, cycling, or dancing? Comment below. I'd love to hear. And now we've talked about the brain. But memory is not the only brain function to suffer from aging. It occurs deep within, too, at the cellular level. Let's investigate how exercise retards cellular aging. Part 4, slowing down. Cellular aging with exercise. Let's go deeper. It's not only your bones that age, it's not something that only happens in your muscles. And it occurs at the tiniest level. You saw them within your cells, at the tip of every chromosome in your body. There are protective caps. They're called telomeres. You can think of them a bit like the plastic tips on your shoelace. They prevent your DNA from fraying. But telomeres get shorter as you age. If chromosomes become too short, cells stop dividing. That's one reason why we age. Here's the amazing part. Exercise slows this down. Regular activity protects those telomeres. In fact, in some studies it seems to elongate them. Just 6 months of exercise, formed in a moderate manner. Telomeres stayed longer. Cells age more slowly. At the deepest level, your body remained younger. Think of it this way. Each workout is like resetting your cellular clock. You're working step by step to protect your DNA. Here's a real story. When she turned 65, Susan joined a walking group. Initially, she thought it was too late for her, but months of relentless walking prompted her doctor to see improvements in her blood tests. She felt more energetic. And my body feels younger on the inside, even if it doesn't look that way in the mirror. Some people make this mistake. They think aging is all about what you see on the outside, wrinkles, gray hair, stiff joints. But the true fight is hidden. It's happening in your cells. and exercise is the shield. So what's the solution? You don't have to compete in a marathon. Begin with 2 hours and 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, such as brisk walking each week. Add some stretching, add some strength moves, stay consistent. Your cells are listening. You're communicating with them every moment that you move. Stay young, stay alive. Do you think the aging process begins from the outside or from within your cells? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd be interested to know. And now we've looked at bones, muscles, the brain, all the way down to your cells. But there is one other stronger reason to relocate: the exercise to protect yourself from the largest age-dependent diseases. Let's explore that next. Chapter 5, the effect of cataract extraction on the enzyme activities in bovine erythrocytes induced by D-galactose, comparative biochemistry of aging. Mouse event handler. Click here to download. Click here to download. Import module. Let's be honest, the things that really threaten seniors over 60 is not just weak bones, not just lost muscle. It's chronic disease, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers. These are the big ones. And not only do they shorten life, they subtract from quality of life. Here's the good news. Exercise reduces your risk of all of them. How? It enhances insulin sensitivity. Your blood sugar remains even keel then. Pomegranate, it's an anti-inflammatory, so your body stays cool, not under constant stress. It helps manage weight, taking pressure off your heart and joints. The science from the CDC and NIH is unambiguous. Active senior citizens reduce their risk of heart disease by nearly 30%. They reduce their risk of type 2 diabetes by as much as 40%. And regular exercise is associated with lower rates of colon and breast cancer. Here's a story. Frank, 67, was informed by his doctor that he was pre-diabetic. He didn't want more pills, so he signed up for a walking group in his community. 3 months later, his blood sugar returned to a normal level, and he was proud that he took charge, with no extra drug for the effort. And here's a mistake many seniors make. They rely only on medicine. Pills can help, but pills don't replace movement. Exercise is medicine, without the side effects. So what's the solution? Follow the guidelines. At least 2.5 hours a week of moderate activity. That is equivalent to nearly 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Whether it's walking, swimming, cycling, or gardening, it all counts. Chronic disease is not fate in all cases. Your daily mobility serves as a shield. Life is a step away from illness, every day, and a step toward freedom. What's your favorite way to move that also makes you feel well? Walking, swimming, gardening. Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear how. Now we've done bones and muscles and the brain and cells as well as disease prevention. But health isn't only physical, it's also emotional and spiritual. So what's the additional value that exercise is going to do for your life and happiness? Part 6, added value, lifestyle and motivation. Health is not only physical, it's also emotional, it's spiritual, and exercise also has that other gift. Stress just melts away as you move. Your body releases endorphins. That's your natural feel-good hormone. You sleep better. You laugh easier. You wake up with a little bit of weight lifted off your spirit. Think about this. Every trip to the park is more than exercise. It's fresh air in your lungs. It's sunshine on your face. It's connection with nature. And sometimes with friends. Research supports this. Active seniors. The Cleveland Clinic said that staying active makes you 30% less likely to spend those retirement years depressed. They feel more purpose, more joy, more connection. Let me share a story. George is 80. He dances every Thursday night at the community center. He says it keeps him young, his body and his spirit. He laughs with friends. He feels alive. And when you watch George dance, you forget he's in his 80s. Here's the blunder many of them make. They assume that exercise has to be tough, painful, lonely. It doesn't have to be. It can be joyful. It can be shared. It can even be something you enjoy. So what's the solution? Find what makes you smile. Walk with a friend. Play with your grandkids. Dance in your living room. It all counts. Exercise is not punishment. It's a celebration of life. Every move isn't just about health. It's for happiness. Which type of movement gives you the greatest pleasure? Walking, dancing, or gardening? Tell us in the comments. We have seen how an exercise routine delivers joy and purpose. But here's the thing I don't want good tidings to overshadow. Safety. Because moving smartly is just as crucial as moving frequently. Part 7. Safety. Walk smart, stay safe. But before you go bounding into the mountains of muesli or mandating massive amounts of movement right away, read this, because safety comes first. Most seniors dive in too quickly. They push too hard, and they end up hurt. This is the error we want to sidestep. Here's the truth. The body you have at 60 is not the same one you had at 30. Joints are stiffer, balance may be weaker, recovery is slower. So how do you move safely? First, start slow. If you're not used to exercise, start with 5 to 10 minutes of walking. Gradually add time as your body becomes accustomed to it. Second, listen to your body. Mild soreness is normal, sharp pain is not. Take a break if something hurts. Third, talk with your doctor, particularly if you have heart disease, diabetes, or arthritis. A few quick glances could save you from risk. And here's a tip. Warm up before you move. Stretch gently after you finish. It's like oiling the hinges of a door. It keeps everything smooth. Just ask the American Heart Association, whose research proves this point. Older adults who gradually increase the amount of exercise they do have a lower risk of developing major mobility disability compared to those who are typically inactive, new U.S. research has found, and fewer injuries. Here's a story. Helen, 73, was looking to get stronger. At first, she attempted to keep pace with her daughter's workout class. She strained a muscle and had to take several weeks off. Then she began with gentle walking and chair squats. Now she's healthier than ever, injury-free. Moving is powerful, but it's smart moving that keeps you safe. Your objective is improvement, not perfection. What is one precaution you will take to make sure your exercise is safe? Going slow, warming up, or consulting with a doctor? Share it in the comments. And now that we've sorted safety, how about putting it all in motion? Simple summary time, a rapid plan you can begin implementing today. We've covered a lot today, so let's summarize it all. Here's your quick action plan. Strengthen your bones. Walk. Climb stairs. Lift light weights. Each step sends a signal to your bones to keep their strength. Protect your muscles. Do sit-to-stands. Try resistance bands. Muscle is your armor. Keep it. Sharpen your mind. Move daily. Walk, cycle, or dance. Blood flow feeds your brain. Slow down cellular aging. Stay consistent. Remember, every workout protects your DNA. Prevent disease. 150 minutes of exercise a week. Your heart, your blood sugar, and even your immune system will be grateful. And don't forget, exercise also lifts your mood. It gives you joy. It gives you purpose. It gives you life. So here's the key takeaway. You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to work out like an athlete. All you have to do is move every single day. Which of these 5 steps will you try first today? Bones, muscles, brain, cells, or disease prevention? Leave a comment below. I'd love to read your reply. Now you have your roadmap, and we'll end with one final message, a reminder of hope and inspiration too.